on air, people. We are live. And welcome to Live with Sean Spencer, your boy. Yo, so glad to be here with you guys.
That sun shining on you. Always put yourself in a position where the sun shines on you.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. How you doing, my people? How you been? How's it going? I need to know, because your boy is in here. He's live and he's feeling some type of way on this day, July 5th. My people, man, we in the neighborhood, baby. Listen, you see the screen, it's decked out now. You know your boy like that perp. Yes, sir. Favorite flavor. I don't know how y'all feeling, but that's definitely favorite flavor to savor. But it's your boy Sean Spencer. I'm here by Off the Wall Media. We getting it done today. We having it fun today. You know how we operate. Listen, I am so glad that y'all are in the building. I'm so glad that y'all are here with me. What's the scoop, troop? How you doing? How you feeling? What you dealing with? What are you dealing with? I need to know, because your boy is out here and ready to chit chat, talk a little sports, and get down and do what I do, man. So, hey, come holler at your boy, man. Come chill. Come talk to me. Come get down, because we got to talk a little sports, man. We got to get down on this day, July the 5th. Now, hey, you hear that? July the 5th. That's one day after July the 4th. How you doing? How was your July the 4th? Did you see fireworks? Did you visit family? Did you get down with your people? I need to know. Why? Because I have family in this house and I got that with family elsewhere. And it was so cool to see everybody hang out. Shout out to my cousin David. Got down, had some good grub, chilled out. You know how we operated. Everything was, I hope it was for you, because if you got family, you got gold, man. That's beautiful. That's why we all here. But listen, I didn't come here to talk about my family, because you know I could talk about them all day and all night. I came here to talk sports, man. You see what it is. Brought to you by Off the Wall Media. This is your boy, Sean Spencer, the sports guy on Off the Wall TV. And I'm here Sunday afternoon to get at you. So, hey, look, we're here. Let's talk about it. Right now, it's July. Football's right around the corner. Basketball just ended. Hockey just ended. Baseball is right up close, almost at we're midway through the season, almost at the All-Star break, man. So much great stuff going on. But if you know, like I know, there's one thing dominating the headlines right now, and that is the World Cup. My people, the World Cup has taken over the States as America and Canada co-host the World Cup, man. Hey, how are we feeling? I know everybody in our neck of the woods is USA, and we're excited. We want to see what happens. We know tomorrow, USA, yeah, Belgium, watch out for you, baby. You know, hopefully we'll be united for that. That's another story. But look, shout out to America. Just celebrated his 250th birthday, and let's see if we can go ahead and get some of that Belgium tomorrow. But before we get to that, we got to dive into it and talk about what we're talking about. One thing being the fact that the World Cup has hit the round of 16. We already know the round of 32, that knockout stage was incredible. A lot of shockers. Obviously, we know Paraguay and Morocco got the upsets. And hey, even Egypt came in there and got the upset as well. So, hey, not everything is predictable. Shout out to my guy, Andy Zioli. He is definitely making money, man. He has been just vibe betting, you know, bet over here, bet over there. Let's see what happens. And he's been hitting it. He's been running. I need to hop on with him and get some of these bets on, man, because I could have made a couple dollars myself, but I didn't do it. It's all good. I'm going to get at him towards the end of the tournament, maybe see if I can make some big money and get down with the game. But look, let's talk about it, man, because the round of 16 is here, and there's already been a number of games that have gone down. And let's start with yesterday, the 4th of July. They had two big games that were played. And listen, if you looked at some of these games, you're sitting here thinking, Okay, boom. You got France playing Paraguay. Boom. You got Canada playing Morocco. Okay, what do I expect? And the teams that you expected to kind of blow out and dominate and keep moving and grooving, they struggled a little bit. Now, one got the victory, one did not, but it was a lot tighter than we thought. Hey, and that starts with France. Obviously, France in the first week crushes Sweden, or the first in the round of 32, crushes Sweden 3-0. And this one, they played a real tight game with Paraguay. And shout out to Paraguay. We know that they were able to play above their level, if you will, when they beat Germany on penalty kicks late in that first game. So they were riding high off of that. Their crowd was excited. They were into this, and they were coming in ready to shock the world. Oh, my guy Loosemore is in the building. Alex Loosemore, what's the scoop, troop? How you feeling, man? What you got going on, my guy? Yo, so glad you can join me. But yo, France comes into this game dominant. Mbappe running things. Obviously, he's in the running for that golden boot. Him and Messi and Haaland, they're running neck and neck trying to get it done. And shout out to them. But in this game, it was tough. And I got it. I think we a lot of us looking at France like they could be the team that could take this thing. Obviously, France has done really well over the last several years and the last several World Cups, and we've seen how dominant they were. Paraguay is the little, the underdog, the one that's, good. They're spirited. They play well, but nobody really expects that much from them. But I think we saw the writing on the wall with how they played Argentina in one, how they played, what was it? I think it was Colombia in one. They were able to play some of these bigger teams in there, and they're getting their opportunities, and they did it. And then to come in and upset Germany. I mean, they have the skill set to pull it out, and they gave France everything they could handle. Loosemore doing training for my Alabama team. My man, yo, I already hit my training, man. I already hit mine. I'm going back and forth between 26 and 27. Eastern Michigan is ready to make things happen again. Shout out to my guys, EK Holiday and Alex Loosemore in our 2026 Rebuild Dynasty. I stayed in Eastern Michigan, in Ypsilanti. All right, I stayed there. Y'all kept the movie, but it's good. This is the first time actually watching the World Cup, and I've genuinely enjoyed it. You and me both, buddy. Alex, you and me both. You know the sport you and I talk about, and for us, we got 1 month and a half left before we, speaking of going other countries, North Carolina goes to Dublin to play TCU. Hopefully, Chapel Bill has us rearing and ready to go. I know year two of Michigan and your quarterback, and now Whittington, his first year. I'm excited to see what goes on there. But in the meantime, this was the closest I could talk football, and I'm excited about it. And actually, Loosemore, I want you to stick around because I do want to talk to you about one of your players on your team that might be dealing with some things in a little bit. Cannot wait for year one of Kyle Whittingham. Oh, it's going to be nice, man. I'm expecting high things, man. I'm expecting great things. But look, let's get back to it. France gets the tight victory in against Paraguay, beating them 1-0. Battle tested, tough. We know what it is, but I think what gets overlooked in this is how well Paraguay has played and just how battle tested. They're tough. They're rearing to go. Like they really gave it everything they had. Their defensive strategy and how well they were able to kind of hold France at bay and just run with them, play tough with them. I thought that was something that a lot of us. I'm not going to sit here and act like I am huge in all this. Like I know everything, but that was definitely not expected. But after that first game against Germany, I might have thrown some outside bets on Paraguay to see if they can pull it out. Unfortunately, they weren't able to. But in this game, it definitely showed that, if there's ever a moral victory, that would definitely be it. To hold a team like France, who had smoked Sweden the game before, and then to hold them to just a 1-0 victory was definitely was great. Was great for Paraguay. But again, just like in March Madness, It's all about survive and advance. And that's exactly what happened with France. They got it done. They have moved on, and we shall see what will happen as they move on to the round of eighters. We say the Elite Eight in college basketball. Now, we got to move on. The other game that happened on the 4th of July, Morocco, one of the only two remaining African nations that is still in the World Cup. They, after a shocker victory over the Netherlands, they played against Canada, who had gone toe-to-toe with South Africa, and Steven Eustáquio getting that goal in like the 92nd minute after the stoppage of play, to see that, and then to come in this game favored, in my opinion, Morocco, riding high, same kind of situation as Paraguay. This one, Morocco, they showed up and they proved that they deserve to be here. Morocco showed up, and not only did they show up, but they showed out, crushing Canada 3-0 in this ball game, sending the co-host of the World Cup back home and not too far, back up to Canada. Man, like Alex Loosemore said, Morocco played an amazing game. To see the dominance in this game, I've always talked about it. I talk about it a lot in football. There's a very powerful drug out there. It's called momentum. Once you start getting momentum, once you start believing in yourself, Morocco lasted, and then went to penalty kicks against the Netherlands. It was able to prevail in that one. Then you come into this one, and they rode the momentum. They played well. The defense was great. Obviously, they pitched a shutout, but then also you were able to be efficient, continually score, get up early, often dominant. That was big. And look, let's see how far Morocco can roll with this thing. Honestly, that is something that I really have my eye on. Hey, like Alex said, momentum and belief are two powerful things for a sports team. Absolutely. And that's indiscriminate between all sports: football, baseball, basketball, soccer, whatever sport it is. If you have that MO, that big mo, that's a hell of a drug. I've always said that, and I 100% firmly believe it. Shout out to Morocco. Like I alluded to, one of the only two African nations still around. Egypt, after their upset of Australia, they're still going. We will see them playing on the 7th when they play Argentina in Atlanta. That's going to be quite interesting, man. But shout out to them. Let's see how far they can go in this tournament. And hey, as we keep going with this, let's move on, because we talk about Morocco, who this could have been looked at as an upset. Obviously, Canada, had a pretty solid team. Hey, Alex saying can't wait for Spain and Portugal tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Yes, sir. That is definitely one I have my eyes on. But another game that I had my eyes on, it was this one. And I sat with my pops and I watched definitely the first half of this one. And then I had to go out to the store, but then I came back because 5-time champ Brazil. Everybody who knows the World Cup, if you don't know anything about World Cup, you know Brazil, Argentina, you know what I mean? And you might know Mbappe in France. That's it. Those are the most widely known teams if you're just coming in off this thing blind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Brazil got upset. They will be going home. Norway upsets Brazil 2-1 off 2 goals from Erling Haaland. And listen, this is the earliest Brazil has been knocked out since this is the earliest they've been knocked out since 1990. I mean, you got to think about that. We are talking about 36 years, you know what I mean? Since they have been knocked out this early, not making it to the round of 16. That was a shocker. Haaland was awesome today. And look, this thing was 0-0 at the first half, but there was definite opportunities for Haaland early on. I remember there was one where they basically had a crosser from halfway across the field, and Haaland hopped up and kind of kicked it with, almost had it loft right over the goalie's head. The goalie was able to jump up, and it was just short enough for the goalie to get his hands on it. But Haaland had it, and you sat there and you looked at him, and he was kind of like, He's like, I got it. I got the width. I got the size. I get it. Once he came into that second half, playing the momentum of being right up there with the powerhouse, right up there with it. And there was a lot of times, especially in that first half, where Norway, they were the aggressor. Norway held the possession for longer. Norway looked like they, not more than they just deserved to be there. Norway kind of was feeling like, we're this close to getting in there. You add the Heat in there, being in New Jersey and East Rutherford Stadium, the Giants Stadium. I mean, you could tell both teams were kind of biding their time, waiting to make their run, waiting to get it. But there's a lot of opportunities early on for Norway to show up and get it done. And in that second half, Aaron Haaland, he got the job done. I mean, two epic goals that he had, one being in the 79th minute and the other being in the 90th minute, where they pulled out a major upset. And like I alluded to earlier, you got Mbappe from France, you got Messi in Argentina. You know what those guys are. Haaland is right up there with those guys. And he's one of those guys that is potentially in the running for the Golden Boot. He is widely acclaimed, definitely one of the bigger name guys in this, and he's proving it right here, right now. What do they say? You don't always play great, but in those times when they're needed, big players play their best, and we're seeing it right now. So Brazil, they're going home. Norway, they're rowing the boat, boy. Is that Minnesota? Alex, is that Minnesota? They're rowing that boat. And hey, real quick, shout out to Mr. Mr. EW, man. Yo, Jameis Winston. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Jameis Winston has been out there and interviewing all these different fans, all these different people. And he was interviewing the Norway fans, I believe, for this game, talking about row the boat and just going, man, I was for that. I thought, I was like, man, come on. I didn't even know they did that. And look, right? Alex, PJ Fleck, is he the coach of Norway? I mean, he might as well be. You know what I mean? We need to bring some of that to college football, man. Row the boat, baby. Let's go. I love that, man. But shout out to Norway knocking out Brazil, doing, the unthinkable. Obviously we know Brazil, 5-time champs, in past World Cups. We've seen how dominant they were. A lot of people picked them to go far. Norway, I think a lot of people might have been sleeping on how good Norway is. Norway is definitely, especially with Haaland, we've seen how well he played. But like I said, in this game, they were the aggressor for a lot of the game that I saw. And, I was definitely impressed by, Norway's performance in this game. And hey, Brazil, they take the loss. They're out of here, man. So you felt bad for it. You saw a lot of the Brazil fans, obviously they like to pan to the kids, and then you had the little kids crying, you had adults crying. It was crazy, but that's what happens. That is absolutely what happens. Alex said, Jameis is a world treasure. Love the rest of the world getting to see Jameis. Exactly. And we always talk about what are the things that all the different countries fans that are coming over here, what are some of the things that they're taking with them? Obviously, barbecue and what was it? Not cream cheese, ranch. Everybody's like, oh man, ranch is so great and everything. They're taking that. But Jameis Winston is absolutely that they needed to see. And I love everything about Jameis Winston, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to everything that he is adding to it, man. This is why these are the type of things, the PR people and the people that said we need to get him to help, interview and bring that is where it's at, man. That's what it's all about. And I love that. And it makes it so much fun to watch. But listen, we got to go ahead and move on because 16, those were the first 3 games that have happened in the round of 16. But there's another game on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Another one that I'm going to tell you, this one I got my eyes on, man. Alex, I also will be doing my my Eastern Michigan my training. Got to get my guys ready to go for what? See, is this year 4? Year 4 or year 5 in Eastern Michigan? I got to get them raring to go. But before I do, or while I do that, I got to watch tonight Mexico versus England in Mexico City, basically a home game, if you will, 8 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you got to pay attention to this one. This one, England's coming in here is legit. Obviously, Mexico is pretty dominant. I was already talking to my guy, Andy, who is just chomping at the bit. Cannot wait to watch this game. Who do you guys have in this game? I want to know where you guys stand. And this one, it's hard to pick against Mexico, being that they're the home team, being that, obviously they've been able to kind of pull it out and be dominant thus far. But England, hey, they're no slouch. They're no sleeper. They're definitely somebody that you want to pay attention to. England clearly, Congo had them down 1-0 by halftime, and then England came back, pulled out 2 goals to bringing them up 2-0, and then Mexico also got the W. Man, I need to know. Alex said I got England, though I think Mexico with the home field advantage poses a ton of problems. Absolutely, man, absolutely. The weather, the whole atmosphere, the altitude, the whole. The home field advantage part, I think, is going to be huge. On top of the fact that you got your fans raring to go, you got your familiar territory and everything. This is definitely a road matchup for England. But hey, England has showed up when they've been asked upon. We saw they went up against a very spirited Congo team that had a lot of attention and momentum, from the rest of the World Cup community. England, I think, is up for the challenge. If I'm being very honest with you, I love how good they are, and this is going to be a hard fight matchup, man. Highly contested. Alex, you said you got England. I want to go that direction, but I'm going to be very honest with you. I think that home field advantage might play a major factor. And if I'm being honest, I think I'm going to say Mexico. And it's honestly a flip of the coin for me because England, Mexico, I just think they match up well. Let's see what happens. I think Mexico in that whole field advantage could get it, but I could be wrong. So let us know what you guys think, man, because Mexico is legit. England's legit. They're both ready, trying to get to that slot in the round of 8, Elite 8, if we're just meshing it. I don't feel great picking England. Hey, look, I don't feel great picking Mexico. So those picks could be interchangeable. Man, I'm right there with you, man. But hey, we got to move on to a game my guy just talked about. He talked about this earlier game that he's looking forward to, and I guarantee a lot of other people are looking forward to this one in Arlington, Texas at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Portugal plays Spain, and this one is one that I think there's going to be a lot of eyes glued to that TV, sitting back watching, and you're going to want to see this one. You're going to want to take a look at what's going to happen in this game, man. Portugal, Spain, big name teams ready, got that. I mean, proximity, you know what I mean? Both coming over here, and woo, you want to talk about guys, they same area, know each other, the familiarity. This type of game is going to be one where it's going to be that margin, that razor sharp margin. Who can be the difference? Who can step up? Who can play big when they need to? In my opinion, I think this thing's going down to the wire. I think this one is going to be hard fought all the way through, all the way down to the wire. And for my money, I'm not even gonna dare to pick this one. I'm not going to, because it's too close to call for me. What are your thoughts? Loosemore, Rolando also announced this is his last World Cup earlier today, so he can finally win it all. Can he finally win it all? You want to talk about momentum. You want to talk about, hey, rally and cry, build up the guys. What happened in 2012 with Ray Lewis? Alex, you know this. When going into the playoffs, Ray Lewis said, hey, this is my last run. And what happened? Flacco plays some of the most amazing ball, and that defense shows up and shows out. And had it not been for a daggone major malfunction in Mercedes and was the Georgia Dome or whatever, or wherever they played there. Was that Mercedes-Benz or the Georgia Dome? I'm not sure. But it had not been for that game would have been a blowout. You know what I mean? But Ray Lewis still got it done. Whenever you have something like that, where it's like, let's win one for this guy. Let's go out on the last one. Ronaldo, we know how good he is, man. And he said that's the kind of vibe. Yeah, Mercedes-Benz. Yep, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting in Portugal. I can see that, man. And that, hey, this is it. And if you have that kind of momentum, that kind of opportunity, that kind of story, watch out, because he's been wanting to get one. He needs to get it now. Teams like Brazil are out. Obviously Argentina's still in. We'll see some of these other teams out. But this could be that opportunity that he's been waiting on. And if he's able to pull this thing out, ladies and gentlemen, man, pay attention, because it's definitely something to keep your eyes on. Definitely something to keep your eyes on and see. And I man, this is one of the ones that I'm really excited to see. If I'm being completely honest with you, especially with that, I did read that update on I think it was ESPN a little bit earlier. That was definitely it. You need to encourage any transfers or push them to preseason. Push them to preseason. I think I have under the amount of transfers under the amount of guys. So yeah, I'm good. Push me to preseason. I'm good to go. Shout out to my guy. This is going to be a good one. Let's see. With that little bit of information, I think we got to push Portugal across that line, and it's going to be tough, hard fought, but I'm excited to see it. Let's move right along in this thing. Hey, in Seattle, Washington, 8 p.m. tonight or tomorrow night. Everybody in the States is going to have their eyes glued on this one. Belgium, they won 3-2 in their game. It was a hard-fought game. A lot of people thought, whoa, wait a minute. Is Belgium going to can they pull it out? I mean, Senegal gave them everything they can handle, but they were able to pull it out against them. USA, they destroyed Bosnia 2-0. This is going to be a major matchup. This is going to be one. Obviously, being in the States, it'd be sacrilegious if I went against my country. Shout out to USA. I'm picking them. There it is. I ain't going to go Nathan Snell a la Chuck, Charles Barkley. Guarantee I ain't going down that road. But I am going to say, man, I'm putting my money on the US of A. We just celebrated 250 years, our birthday. Hey, we're ready. We're the home country. Yeah, we're going. Let's go. I'm going USA. I'm saying we pick up against Belgium. Belgium, while they scored 3 goals in that first one, I think they had a hard-fought matchup in that first one. And if I'm being honest with you, I think that took a lot out of them. That might have taken a lot out of them. On top of the fact that now you in USA, which is home field advantage, you got USA coming off a big victory. So they've kind of got a little bit, ability to rest up a little bit with how well they played up in this one. I think USA pulls this one out. I'm going to go ahead and say 2-1, and I'm going to say USA moves on to the round of 8. Mark my words, eyes on this one. Loving everything about what USA is bringing to the table, and we're ready, man. Let's go. USA. Let's get it, man. Shout out to the USA home field in Seattle. Hey, let's get it. Let's make it happen. Okay, let's make it happen. Moving on to the next day, Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. I mentioned a little bit earlier, the only other outside of Morocco who has moved on to the round of 8, the only other African team still in is Egypt. They will be playing Argentina in Atlanta, Georgia at noon on Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Argentina, Cape Verde gave them everything they can handle. Now they're going up against another African team. Argentina It just has that momentum. They have that leadership. They have that camaraderie. I got Argentina keeping it moving. I honestly and genuinely, truthfully think they're going to be a little bit too much for Egypt. Now, I'm not going to sleep on Egypt. Obviously, Egypt beat Australia. Obviously, Egypt, is ready to shock the world. And I think they could do a little bit like Paraguay where they hang in there tough. But Argentina just got what it takes. They got that extra bit of oomph. They are my pick. Dr. Dre in the building. Appreciate the doctor. Yeah, I'm saying Argentina takes this one. This is going to be, I think it's going to be a lot, maybe it's going to be a lot closer. I don't know. After that first one where Argentina had to survive that game and you're kind of like, whoa, I didn't expect that. I think this is one where they kind of get that focus set and it's like, let's keep moving. Egypt had a good run, but it's going to be interesting. Loosemore said, I'll sleep on them. Argentina wakes up from that Cape Verde game and smokes Egypt. Yep, absolutely. I think that Cape Verde game definitely opened their eyes. Like, wait a minute, we can't just walk into this thing and cakewalk all the way down to the end. I think that one kind of caught them kind of just coasting, and they almost lost in that one. So yeah, I think they definitely are woken up. I think Egypt's run ends here. Argentina gets the job done, and they move on to the round of 8. And I'm hyped to see kind of what does happen in this one, because I didn't, if you would have asked me a couple of days ago and I talked about Cape Verde and shout out to Cape Verde, but everything, I would have sat there and said, okay, that one's in the books, man. Argentina's got this. They ain't even no question. And to see how closely fought that one was, now you got me keeping my eyes open on this one. But I think they got enough to pull this thing out, man. That's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. And then the other game for that night, to see who else goes into the round of 8, Switzerland playing Colombia in Vancouver, Canada at 4 p.m. Colombia is another one of those teams that not only is beautiful on the field, they're definitely beautiful off the field. And ladies and gentlemen, if I don't say so myself, I honestly am excited to kind of see this one. Switzerland, I think, is going to play a little bit tougher than people might expect. And I think they might give a little bit more to Colombia than Colombia is expecting. But again, I think once you start seeing some of these teams, we've seen the upsets of, Egypt upsetting and Paraguay and Morocco, and you see how Morocco's still rocking. And once you start seeing some of these upsets, you don't take anybody lightly. Now, Switzerland's no slouch, I think Switzerland can give Colombia everything they can handle. But in my opinion, I think Colombia has enough to push this thing over the top. And we've seen how matchup like this kind of, you get a team hanging around, and all of a sudden that second half they can show up. But I think Colombia is able to get this one pulled out in Vancouver, 4:00 on the 7th, on Tuesday. So definitely check this one out, as this one will be the last matchup. Colombia wins in extra time penalty kicks. I can see that as well. This is the last matchup to see who is the final team to make it in the round of 8, the Elite 8, if we're talking March Madness. And I got Colombia getting this one, and a close one as well. Shout out to my guy, Alex Loosemore, hitting me up in the comments about that, man. Let me know what your thoughts are. Who do you think is going to get that, get over on any of these matchups? Switzerland, Colombia, Argentina, Egypt, USA, Belgium, Portugal, Spain, or even later on tonight, Mexico versus England. Who is your picks to go farther? And shoot, who's your picks to take it? I mean, hearing that thing about Ronaldo, man, Portugal might be their time. It might be their time, but we'll see. We'll see. And when you're in a matchup against the people that you know the most, if there's anybody that wants to play spoiler, it's absolutely the team that knows you the best, that lives closest to you, because they're right in your backyard. So, hey, that's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see. And real quick, let's discuss it. We got to shout it out. The semifinals start July the 14th July 14th. That's when the semis are finding out. We're going towards the quarterfinals, and the quarterfinals will start on July the 9th, which is France and Morocco, to see who goes into the semifinals, the Final Four, the big matchups. We're good. We're close. We're right at the doorstep of the Elite Eight, if you will, the final 8 teams, and then we're looking ahead. We're looking ahead at that Final 4 teams. We're getting down to the wire, baby. We're getting right down to the wire, with the finals being the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see. Messi got his first championship last time. I think Ronaldo gets one now. Yes. And Neymar just announced his retirement from the World Cup. Played his last game with Brazil. Let's show love, man. Let's show love. Nobody, and look, unless you're from Norway, I don't think anybody really expected Norway to shock Brazil like that. I definitely don't think they expected them. It was 2-0 up until that late goal by Brazil, that penalty kick or that penalty kick they got with that stutter, and then kick. We saw that, and that kind of was interesting. Shout out to my guy Andy Zioli. Is like, the stutter step's got to go. It's got to go. I'm like, man, bro, it is what it is. I do think they put like a 5-second like kind of time clock on it, so you can't just keep waiting for it. But hey, that's neither here nor there. We'll discuss that another day. But shout out to him. Neymar announcing his retirement from the World Cup, played his last game with Brazil. That is major, major news coming after their loss to Norway. This is the earliest they've exited since 1990. 36 years, ladies and 36 years, ladies and gentlemen. That's big. That's big. A lot of people expecting them to go farther. So that's major, major news. Neymar is gone. Hey, so now you see it. We talked about it. Messi got it last time. Now maybe it's Ronaldo's time. We'll see. You let me know. Put in the comments what your thoughts are, man. Hey, I'm excited to see it. Stay tuned. Mexico, England in Mexico City will be starting. As a matter of fact, it should have just started. So we'll definitely dive into that. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sean Spencer, Off the Wall Sports. And I got to dive into a couple other things, but we're going to take a quick breather, ladies and gentlemen, and just relax, because I got to talk some football. And if I'm talking football, got to shout out my homegirl, the co-creator and co-founder of Let's Talk Football, one half of that dynamic duo, me and her. We got a number of shows. Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable, Ladies Takeover, College Football Update, and Let's Talk College Football, the Washington shows. We got a whole bunch of stuff out there, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to want to see it. We're getting closer to the season, and I'm going to be talking on here as well as on Let's Talk Football, that channel, my YouTube channel. You're going to want to check it out. Check this video out, as this is preview. I don't know. Maybe this is our video. Check us out.
Episode of Let's Talk Football. Yep. I am Janae Struthen.
I am Sean Spencer.
I am Janae Struthen.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football. Season 3. We are back. We are back.
That's right.
What's up,
Here we go.
What's happening, kids? How we doing?
Janae, Sean, thanks for having me.
We made the talk football and basketball. Great.
Is Carson back?
Everyone played to the last play. Yes. So we like Raiders.
Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
Yeah, buddy. Shout out to the crew. Shout out to Janae Struther, my partner in crime. One half of that dynamic duo is Let's Talk Football. We will be back this fall, starting off the season with a groundbreaking live show September 4th, I believe. I got to get confirmation on that from my guy, Nicholas Rosario. 1 week before the season starts, we're going to be live in Chicago, Illinois. Nicholas Rosario, Anthony Handy, Delilah Crespo, Tina Winter will definitely be all out there together talking football. I'm going to be producing. It's going to be something you got to see, man. They're doing a live show to kick off the season. Hopefully you can be there to join us, whether it's online or in person. But it's going to be something you're going to want to see. You're going to want to check us out, man. Whenever they get together, it is a fun time. And that will be the first time everybody will be together in person. So I'm hyped. I'm definitely hyped to see. But listen, it's your boy, Sean Spencer. We're here. I am your host on Off the Wall Sports, brought to you by Off the Wall Media on Off the Wall TV. We just out here getting it in. I'm chit-chatting with you, talking to my people, letting y'all know I'm in the building. Hopefully you are in the building joining me. Shout out to the people that have been in the comments and the people that are following and watching and just getting down with your boy, man. You know we got to be up in here talking and chit-chatting, doing what we do for show. So I am going to move on. I just got done talking a little World Cup for you. And now I'm going to go into a little bit of football, the off-season update. I talked about it a couple days ago. I'm going to bring you more information as the weeks go by, as we get closer to the season. The 17th of July, which is 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away now, is when training camp officially begins. I believe San Francisco and Seattle. I think Seattle is the 17th, and then the 18th in San Francisco. When training camp starts, the guys are getting back. Rooks, vets, all those guys are coming back in there, getting ready to get this thing on and popping. And I am so excited to see what happens. Obviously, I'm waiting for Washington to get down because there's been a lot of speculation. What's going on? We got our guy, Laremy Tunsil, our big-time left tackle. He's sitting here talking, taking the rookie Connerly under his wing. I'm hyped about that. We got a new running back, Kaytron Allen, out of Penn State. A lot of people are speculating that he might get a lot more time now that with David Blough's kind of having a running back by committee. Rashad White might be the third down wide receiving back. Then you also have the home run hitter and Bilge, Corey Krosky-Merritt. And now you got a Kaytron Allen who might be, a little bit like what Rodriguez was for Chris Rodriguez out of Kentucky. So I'm excited to kind of see. It's all speculation. We'll see what happens closer to the season. But I am hyped because this time of the year is always something that you can sit here and everybody is at the top level. Everybody's raring to go. Everybody's got a lot of hype on them. And I can't wait to see what we're doing. So check out that. We will definitely be hollering at you, ready at training camp, trying to bring you all the news and notes and all that good stuff that will be coming. Now, another highlight that we got to talk about is August 6th. August 6th, the Hall of Fame game, ladies and gentlemen, the NFL's annual Hall of Fame game will happen August 6th, 2026. The Cardinals of Arizona will be playing the Panthers of Carolina in Canton, Ohio, and the newest members of the Hall of Fame will be inducted. And then it's back. Then games are back. I know it's not regular season. A lot of people are like, I don't watch preseason. For somebody that has to go basically in hibernation, okay, from February, the first week of February, which is the Super Bowl, all the way through to early August, this is the game that I just sit there and I'm just clamoring for. Let me get pad on pad contact. Let me get some kind of offense, defense. Hey, That's Alex Loose Ward. That's why you my guy. He always watches preseason. Once we get back into action and really get back, you can start to feel it. That's the appetizer. We're right there at the beginning, right when football starts. Obviously, college football doesn't start till week 0, which is the 27th of August, which is still 3 weeks after that. So giving this game the Hall of Fame game and seeing who are the Hall of Famers that make it in to obviously the Hall of Fame that year, and always speculate and kind of go back and forth on that. Can't wait for it, man. I'm all about it. I love it. I am raring to go. And seeing the Cardinals, seeing the Panthers, obviously we're going to get some rookies out there. You got Jeremiah Love out there for the Cardinals that we're dying to see. Shout out to our guy Eric Kelly, diehard Notre Dame fan, so he's going to want to take a look at that. Panthers got some guys. I just ready for football. Let's just put it to you this way. I could right now. My guy Alex was talking about, our dynasties and rebuilds. 26, NCAA 26. We're still finishing up on that one till our guy EK gets 27. Alex and I have already gotten into 27, and if you know me, I'm already a season deep. Already had a guy win the Heisman. You know how this stuff goes. Just love playing it. Love being immersed in the game that we love, especially college football. Tune into that. My guy Alex Loosemore and I will be trying to hit y'all with some college football news and notes as the season gets closer and into the actual season, man, because he's going to want to see what his guys, like he said earlier, the Kyle Whittington era, how that's going to be for his team. Obviously, Chapel Bill, we're going to see what happens with North Carolina, year 2 of the Bill Belichick regime. Hopefully, things will be different than last year when it was rough last year. Let's just start. We went 2-2, but those 2 losses were, I think it was like 34-9. We lost to Central Florida, and then we got stomped 48-14 to Texas Christian, so TCU. So I'm hoping, because we got to play TCU in Dublin, I hope we can get a better start off matchup, but it's going to be interesting because we got Clemson early, we got Notre Dame in October. It's going to be tough for us, so we're going to need to show something. I just need them to show a little bit more than what I saw last time. So football is right around the corner. It's July. It's July 5th today. So we have about 2 weeks until training camp and all that stuff starts. And then, about a week and a half after that, we got the Hall of Fame game and then preseason starting up, man. So get ready. Strap up your seatbelts. It will be here soon. And I know if you're like me, if you're like my guy Alex, we're right there on the cusp. We're waiting for it, man. We're waiting for it. But look, so that is the Hall of Fame game. Now, this in other news, this might not be technically football news, but this football player has been focused more on this than he has been on playing. And shout out to Janae and I, because we have been speculating and talking about this for the last several years. Shout out to the Ladies Takeover. Let's Talk Football Ladies Takeover. Delilah Crespo, Janae Struther, Nicole Oppenheimer, and Kate Alverson, who've also been covering this. When is it going to happen? Are they waiting on the Super Bowl? Well, ladies and gentlemen, over the July 4th weekend, it finally happened. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce get married at Madison Square Garden, and it was a private ceremony that was star-studded. I think I heard Baker Mayfield was there, and Sharon was there. I mean, there was a boatload of guys. Justin Thomas was there, Kareem Hunt, Cooper Kupp, Zoe Kravitz, Jimmy Fallon, Jay-Z. I mean, name after name after name was there. And for what I heard, phones, any kind of recording device, all that stuff, you had to sign an NDA. All that stuff was banned. They weren't trying to put all of that. It was blocked off to the public. I mean, media covered it as well as they could from the outside, but it was closed off in there. And hey, first and foremost, I'm gonna clap it up. I've given these guys a hard time, and 100%. We've all kind of talked about Travis Kelce, man, your play has kind of fallen off. You know, you need to get focused, X, Y, and Z. But let's be honest, okay? A lot of us wish, you know, in his shoes with the lovely Taylor Swift, on top of the fact that she is just a media and music entertainment giant in this game. And on top of it, she seems like a cool person. Like, she seems like, even though she is just so grandiose and so, you know, major in her profession, that she seems very down to earth and everything. He's definitely gotten Travis's attention, and the fact that they were able to, you know, come together, get married, it's a beautiful thing. The amazing kind of whole, you know, things surrounding it, and how they have, like, genuinely, you know, seemed like it's been like this kind of cute, you know, whirlwind courtship, and they've been together. The mom seems to dig, and the parents seem to dig him, and, you know, things work. I love it, man. Shout out to him. I've given them a hard time because obviously for me, football comes first, but love comes first. So shout out to them, man. I hope they have, you know, great lives together. Who knows about kids, because that might mess with the touring. And, you know, and hey, what does this mean for this? Is this Travis's last season? You know what I mean? Is he going to be leaving football now after this? It's going to be interesting to see. Adam Sandler, he officiated the wedding. So that tells you, I mean, star-studded all the way through. I mean, that was, when I heard that, I was like, I looked at my mom, I was like, for real? That's what we're doing? Okay, all right. I didn't even know he can do that. But shout out to him, star-studded all the way through, man. And it was secretive in Madison Square Garden. They did their things. Who knows if pictures and all that stuff will come out later? I don't know. But it was done on the 4th of July weekend. And I like that it was done then, because it gave us all something to kind of focus on. Those of us that were kind of struggling with some other things that we're trying not to focus on in the grand scheme of the American experience, if you will, man. So, but shout out to this. Love that they were able to do this, to get married. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I do have a question, and I want to ask this, Alex, to see you in the comments. Any of y'all, the rest of y'all, we know how famous and how big and bold and you know just amazing Taylor Swift is. Did Taylor Swift take Travis Kelce's name? I know we're in 2026, and you know, some women keep their name, and obviously that's kind of her whole image, the Swifties and everything. But is it Taylor Swift Kelce, or is it just Taylor Swift married to Kelce? Or, I mean, if we're being super modern, is it Travis Kelce Swift? I mean, how are they playing this thing is what I want to know. I need to know this. Alex, right? I was wondering that too. I gotta know, man. I normally I wouldn't ask that question. Normally I'd kind of be like, it is what it is. But with her name basically bringing her brand, she has her whole crew, the Swifties and all that type of stuff. Are you taking his last name and doing it traditional? Are you being this modern woman and keeping your name? Or is he taking yours? How does that play out? I'm genuinely interested in kind of how that is. Some of the other names that were there, obviously, Patrick Mahomes and his wife, Matt Stafford and his wife, George Kittle, Zach Ertz, a lot of these guys. Edelman was there. Obviously, I said Ed Sheeran, Chris Jones, Baker Mayfield, Bo Allen. I mean, it was star-studded, man. Everybody, Juju, George Karlaftis, McCole Hartman. Obviously, a lot of the Chiefs were up there. Ryan Hawk was up there. Fergie. I mean, come on, man. Machine Gun Kelly. Wow. They were all over there, man. And it was Hugh Grant. I mean, it was absolutely Jason Sudeikis was there. It was absolutely star-studded. It's exciting that you see when you see a blockbuster wedding like this. And look, we know how great Taylor is. We've always joked that, Travis is kind of playing up to Taylor. I mean, Taylor is she's a force. She's a whole continent herself as far as her popularity and just how widely known she is. You know, Travis, he's got something he's building over here, but, you know, she's kind of on that level. So it's very interesting to see them come together. But love is love is love is love. And I'm excited for them. I'm wishing them nothing but the best. And I mean, hey, if you were there and you got to see, congratulations. Hopefully the rest of us will get to see pictures or videos or anything that came from it. But as you know, there was nothing. Everything like that was banned and everything. You know, you couldn't see any of that. That. Shout out to my guy Ben Cornett, Travis Swift, and that's what I want to see. Does he put the Swift on the back of his jersey? Is he now, you know, Travis Swift? Is he now like Swift? You know what I mean? Like I gotta see that, man. Was Kanye there? Maybe he hopped up on stage and said, "Man, it should have been Beyonce." Who knows? Who knows? Look, Loose World, there's likely some sort of documentary coming that has the wedding in there. Listen, and to that point, I still am holding out that we all know Swift, as far as her music career and everything, most of her fame in the music career came from, you know, her songs about her breakup songs and, you know, everything having to do with, you know, how, you know, every song was about somebody she broke up with and this and that. I still think that there's somewhere out there that maybe it's like for the next major blockbuster album, it's like the whirlwind marriage and then break up. And then the album comes out. I know that sounds horrible. I'm not trying to do the Swifties. Don't come after me. Don't come after me. But I mean, this is how she kind of rose to fame. Like, it just seems weird. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not wishing that upon them. I'm not even going down that road, but definitely shout out to the Swifts or the Kelceys or Kelsey and Swift, however they're going to play it. Shout out to them, man. Hope, you know, wish them all the best in their new lives together. All right. We have got to move on. Some more off-season news that's going on. Definitely want to shout out. I talked about this the other show. Definitely want to take a minute and shout out Chris Johnson. And those of you that don't know, was diagnosed a year ago with ALS, an extremely debilitating disease. It's most commonly known as Lou Gehrig disease. And you guys know this guy in 2009, I think it was, over 2,000-yard rushers, one of the few backs to actually have that. Played, I believe, 10 seasons, six 1,000-yard seasons, I think 6 consecutive. Played, I think, 5 or 6 years with the Titans. Then I think the Saints, maybe, and then the Cardinals. He played some years with before getting out of the league. Fortunately, he's struggling. He's dealing with that. You know, his wife and his kids have been extremely supportive and has been really motivating him. And he, you know, just came out recently on Good Morning America talking to Michael Strahan, essentially saying, hey, I'm going to keep fighting. You know, I'm still the same person, but it's got so bad that it kind of even took his voice. So now he's got a machine that essentially he has his voice pre-recorded, and he's got a machine that basically speaks through him through, I believe, his eye movements and things like that. I mean, technology is amazing, but it just stinks that this happened to a guy that was, you go back and look at some of those highlights and, you know, he just, it was so amazing to see how dominant he was. I mean, you look, I shared one on, I think it was Instagram a couple days ago. When he broke out into the open field, I mean, he was not getting caught. He was not. When he got out there, boom, one quick move, and he hit, and it was gone, man. He was gone. And it just seemed like through that one season, I believe it was 2009, seemed like it was every other run. You know, I know it wasn't every other run, but that was his, 2,000-yard season. But if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, if you can do me a favor, look this up. I think in 2009, he had 2,009 rushing yards. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I could be wrong on that one. But it was an amazing year. If you had him in Madden that year, if you were playing Madden in that year, he was absolutely a steal. He was dominant. And hey, you to see this, obviously there's all this stuff. He was definitely 2000 for sure. Yeah. To see this, obviously there's always, we hear about the guys with CTE, or unfortunately the guys that might have drug issues, or the guys that might have other issues that are going on after post-career or whatever. But to see a situation like this, where it's a disease like this, that you just, you wonder, like, what did he do to deserve this? You know what I mean? And it really stinks to kind of see it, that he is so debilitated to the point where can't speak. He seems like he's struggling. You want to just send your prayers to him, and just, send your heart out to him. And one of the things that has come out from this is that he has been trying to revive the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. And let's go, man. You know what? I'm you hearing it right here, right now. I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to do this Ice Bucket Challenge. Hey, especially nowadays when you see how cold or how hot it is out here, 3-digit days, 100 degrees almost every day. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And then pick up the ice, wash it off, and put it back, because we need that ice, because it is too hot around here. But I love that he's bringing it out, that he's bringing this thing back. According to the ALS Therapy Development Institute, the drive has helped raise an estimated $135 million in the United States and $220 million worldwide in a way to fight ALS. The Bucket Challenge, it was popular in 2014, and now they're trying to bring it back. As y'all saw, what's his name? Marshawn Lynch sent a very heartfelt message to Chris Johnson. Said, "I'm with you, man. I got you, and in support. We're doing the Bucket Challenge." He definitely got doused with the ice, man. So shout out to him, man. It's painful to see. It's hard to see, but bringing awareness to these situations, we know, we don't know why people got to go through this and get put in these situations, but we do know that sometimes because of these situations, they can bring attention to it, because a lot of people are dealing with ALS, but they might not have the platform that Chris Johnson has, and he's out here trying to put it out. Him talking about it, him speaking about it, he's trying to get more attention to it, and I love that. There's a nickname. Yeah, that's where the nickname CJ2K came from. Absolutely. I love it, man. The support over the last few years, there's a number of guys out there, man. So I love that, man. Shout out to him. And hopefully nothing but the best to Chris Johnson, aka CJ2K, man. Hey, Ice Bucket Challenge, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it live. We'll see if I get it done live, but I'm definitely gonna do it. And go from there. Yeah, absolutely, Ben. Prayers definitely out for CJ, man. It's painful. I hate to see it, man. I hate to see it. But look, we got to move on, man, to another story that's not the best to hear, Alex, and maybe you can jump in the comments and tell me a little bit more on this. I'm not going to get into the full details of the situation, but it is major news as far as players come out. The Detroit Lions release Terrion Arnold. Unfortunately, he was arrested on felony charges. I'm not going to go into detail on what exactly happened, but with what's been going on, they definitely just released him. I've been kind of following this news, trying to see kind of how far it went. Speculation at one point, and then it really kind of hit the fan. And so, yes, he has officially been released. And the team was arrested last week. The team announced it on Monday. The charges are pretty heinous in itself. I would tell you to go look it up. He posted bond, which was about $1 million bond. So that's a lot of money. So you already know it was definitely something that it was no little small thing. So this, we know kind of how he was highly sought after coming out of college, and there was a big name pickup for them, and to see that happen, it's not, you don't want to see it. Alex says they're still maintaining his innocence, and apparently the team contacted him to sign him. Okay, good. So, and that's why I'm not going to touch on what happened. I'm not going to get involved as far as in what they're saying, what he's being accused of. Everybody, it should be, and hopefully is innocent until proven guilty. So we will see what's going on. Hope for his sake it isn't true, because what I will say is, if it is true, he's looking at some serious time. So we will definitely follow that story in hopes that it comes out to a better ending, and that the situation is not as dire as it looks, or at least what they're commenting on right now. So again, stay tuned for updates on that. And another situation about legal stuff, Calais Campbell, prayers go out to his family, as Calais Campbell's mother was unalived over, I believe before last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. And reports are that it was the brother who did it. So I don't know. And again, I'm just kind of reporting, some of the news and notes that I'm hearing about. So we're going to again follow up on some of these stories to kind of make sure we're getting out the right news. But that is definitely something that's out there. So we're going to see. But still, at the end of the day, anytime you lose a loved one, especially your mother, we got to send our hearts and prayers out to Calais Campbell, and hopefully he can get some peace in that issue, because if that is true, then not only did he lose his mother, but he's going to lose his brother. So praying for him for sure. Alex said, don't think he plays this year, though, due to the court schedules. Unlikely according to the winner. Yeah. And then brutal to see that story come out, too. Yeah. And it stinks, man, because unfortunately at this time of the year, not a lot to talk about, obviously, football-wise, but there is a lot of off-the-field stuff that does go on. And you just hate to hear stories like this happen, because you never want to hear stories like this happen, period. But when this is the news that's coming about these players, it's upsetting. It's definitely upsetting. So we're wishing the best. We're hoping that, for their sake and for the sake around them, that what the ones that are being charged maybe didn't do it or whatever, maybe it's not true, who knows. But if it did happen, the law has to do what the law has to do. They need to be prosecuted and let that play out the way that it is supposed to play out. So that is the end of our football talk. Definitely stay tuned to the news and notes. I'm going to try to get together with some of the guys talking college football in the coming weeks, because there's a lot of transfer moves that have been made, a lot of speculation on who's playing where, what are they looking forward to in the season. We want to dive into some of this stuff, seeing as college football is about a month and a half away. Definitely a month and a half before we really start getting into the conversation. But then about a little under 2 months, about a month and a half, like a little over maybe a month and a half before we really get back into the season and everything going. So we're excited to see it, and definitely see. Always down to talk some college ball. Absolutely. Hey, Alex, we'll wrap in the chat, man. Definitely let me know your schedule, because I'm definitely itching to talk about some college ball and what all is going on. So, all right, I'm going to take a quick breather, and then we are going to get back on some NBA news, as NBA free agency is around. Trades have been made left and right, and we're going to see who's where, who's getting better, how all this stuff's playing out. I'll kind of highlight a couple moves that have already happened, and what else is going down. So stick with us. We'll be right back. Yeah, buddy. That is my guy, Anton Benson's creator and founder of Awesome Artisans. You can find him on Instagram, awesome_artisans, and also on Facebook and all other social media. Definitely get in touch with my guy, man. He travels. He lives in the north and the Virginia Beach area, 757, but he will travel up and down the East Coast and towards the Midwest. Definitely get in touch with him. He does great work. I actually got an opportunity to work with him a couple months ago. Oh, excuse me. And hey, we were out working in the yard. We were out working in an office building. We were moving stuff. He definitely gets it done, and I'm excited to see it. So, welcome back, all y'all that are in here with me, talking to me, chatting with me, getting down with your boy, Sean Spencer, host of Off the Wall Sports with Sean Spencer on the Off the Wall Media brand. Shout out to all of those that are in here in the comments. Alex Loosemore is in here. And then my guy, Ben Cornett, who says, can't wait to see what the Jordan brand has in store for UNC football this season. And ladies and gentlemen, he's not talking about, Michael Jordan. Let's just say that right now, because this team only goes as far as Jordan, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, will allow it to go. That is a damn shame, but that is the fact of the matter. So, hey, we'll see, Ben. Obviously, Jordan, I am right now about an hour away from Chapel Hill, but apparently Jordan saw some of my reporting on her last year and has banned me from the facility. All right, Ben. So I'm gonna have to go undercover. I'm gonna try to give me a little mustache, a little wig or something, and come on and try to interview it that way. But yeah, Jordan is not too keen on the things I've had to say because I ask a little bit too many questions. All right. So shout out to, hopefully Jordan will be in the crowd and not in the booth and not on the sidelines with the high heel boots and all that stuff this year. Hopefully Coach Bill Belichick focuses more on the game and hoping and restoring his legacy, because another year like last year in college football, and they're definitely going to be talking trash about the guy. Last year was rough. We don't need another one of those, man. But look, it is your boy. I am back, Off the Wall Sports with Sean Spencer, talking a little football, basketball, World Cup, man. Might have to get you guys on here, Ben and Alex, and talk a little baseball, man, as the All-Star break is right down the line. We're going to see who's going. I know my Orioles, I believe, are 42 and 49, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be interesting. That's BS. We need to get Jordan to get you back in the building. I know it, man. I know it. Look. I'm applying for press passes. Okay, I might just have to scrub my YouTube channel so she, because there's a lot of stuff out there that I might have said about Jordan, and I don't know if she didn't like that. I was trying to talk to Bill, and the minute I asked the question, "Hey, Bill, when did you meet Jordan?" Jordan said, "We're not talking about that." Okay. That's neither here nor there. That, you know what? This interview's over. And that's what happened. You know what? No, man, but I am eager to see how this season plays out. And yes, I got to say, her involvement, man, because if she's involved in this thing, it could be another tough season, but we'll get into it. Listen, we got to move on, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, Off the Wall Sports. It's your boy, Sean Spencer. So glad that you guys can be here to join me on today and chit-chat it up with me. Hey, we're in here. Shout out to my guys, Ben Cornett and Alex Loosemore in the comments. Always showing support and showing love. That AL as a whole is terrible. Yeah, the Orioles can still make the postseason. It's that bad. Exactly. And that's the thing about it. Like we're hanging on just enough to kind of still be somewhat relevant, but it's like it just hurts to see because like when our last series, a couple series ago, we played you guys, we end up beating you in one of the games and then we get stomped in another. And it's just like, which team is going to show up? But the rest of the teams ain't doing that great either. So, hey, we'll see. We're going to have to turn around after the All-Star break. So I'm excited to kind of see. But look, we're getting into the NBA offseason and the offseason moves. Yeah, buddy. Shout out to the people in the comments. Sneaky, Alex, Ben, all hitting me up. Any chance? Hey, come on. Tell LeBron to come on over. Either there or Washington. All right, to the Wizards. Come on over. Shoot. Let's see if he has some NFL if he wants to play NFL. Okay, because we can use a tight end. All right, we can use him out there, man. So we'll see about that. But look, let's get into some NBA off-season moves. We've talked about it for those of y'all that are living under a rock and haven't heard. Obviously, there was the blockbuster trade between Jaylen Brown and going from the Celtics to the 76ers. Obviously, Paul George going over there in the trade and a couple picks. We've seen a number of moves. LeBron telling people, hey, telling the Lakers, guys, thanks for everything, but I'm out of here. LeBron has his list down to 10, and my Timberwolves are on there. Absolutely, man. We've seen it. A lot of people are saying, the big favorites that I've heard are definitely, the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, there's been talk about somehow working out a trade to get AD to Golden State and see if Bron can there. I've heard Knicks. I've heard Heat, Timberwolves. I've heard, I've heard Cleveland. I mean, there's a number of teams out there that are potentially looking to see if they can bring in LeBron. And hey, I'd be all for LeBron going anywhere. I don't know how I feel about him talking about he wants to go to the daggone Golden State Warriors. That for me is something like, ugh. And here's the other question. What happens to Bronny? Does Bronny go with LeBron? Is there somehow a trade that LeBron says, hey, come on over. Come on and do it. But I mean, think about it. What if you got LeBron going to the 76ers with Jaylen Brown? I mean, think of how dominant that was. Or going to Miami with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, come on. And to Alex's point, the 10 teams on the board, Cleveland Cavaliers, Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves, the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks, the Golden State Warriors, the Dallas Mavericks, the Boston Celtics, and the San Antonio Spurs. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, let's break that down for a second. Some of these teams, this is just what is this? What is this? This is NBA 2K? Like, is this fantasy draft time? Like, come on, man. LeBron going to some of these teams. I mean, can you imagine Victor Wembanyama and LeBron James? Come on now. I mean, that's crazy to me. I mean, Golden State, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and LeBron James. I mean, the Knicks, champs. You got them. Who knows? I think OG is a free agent, so we don't know what's happening there. But you got Big Cat. You got Brunson and LeBron. I mean, Minnesota. You adding him to the squad. Miami, I talked about him. Nuggets. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. This is crazy, but this is where it is. I like there's so much speculation right now. Alex said, I think the top 5 for him have to be the Cavs, the Heat, the Warriors, 76ers, and the Knicks. I think so. I think the 76ers definitely move to the top of that list with their move to get Jaylen Brown. I think that's going to be somewhere that he might go. I'm also seeing the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I think that's big. I know, if I'm not mistaken, James Harden is a free agent right now. I wonder if that sways him and see if he takes maybe pay cut to get him to go come back to Cleveland. Ben says, now if LeBron joins Steph, Draymond, Horford, and Golden State, it would be combined age of over 100 years old, which wouldn't be much younger than our friend Johnny. Let's see if we can get Johnny out there to play with those guys. He'll come off the bench, hit him with a sky hook. You know what I mean? But I mean, even in those teams that we're talking about, I think right now, if I were to see LeBron go to Miami, go back to Miami, by the way. And then let's go back to that. There's two teams on here that LeBron's already played for in Miami and Ben with the violation. There's two teams that he's already played for, Miami and the Cavs. You know, so if he's going to go back to there and to the Cavs, if he goes back there, that'd be his third trip to the Cavs. So that would be. Let's move on. Let's try something else, LeBron. I'll put it to you that way. Let me scratch that name off the list. The 76ers, I like that one. If I'm narrowing it down to three, I'm going 76ers, I'm going Warriors, and I'm going Heat, just because of those situations that they have. The Cavs and the Knicks, I don't know if the Knicks and LeBron is a good fit, in my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Knicks have a certain type of fan, and I just don't know if they're going to really mesh with LeBron. Now, hey, LeBron's on any team, hey, do your thing. I mean, obviously, he definitely helped the team. But for them to do what they were and how gritty they were and how tough they were, that'd be interesting to kind of bring him in that direction. Golden State, albeit kind of crazy in my eyes, I can definitely see that happening. And the 76ers, that could happen. I would love to see that, as a matter of fact. I want to see the 76ers get a title, man. After the Nuggets got their title, obviously the Knicks just got their title, you know, with Giannis a couple years ago. Milwaukee got it. Let's get the daggone 76ers a title. And after that, LeBron, come to Washington. Let's get Washington the title and then go home. All right, that's where I'm at right now. All right, I just need LeBron to do what you got to do, help the team get a title. Just be a mercenary. Go help different teams get a title, and then go ahead and get out of here. Because it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy, all the different places he could potentially go. But let me know what y'all think. Where do y'all think he's going to genuinely end up going? He told the Lakers, I'm not returning back to LA. I'm going to make my move. I'm going to go elsewhere. I want to see it. Does he pass Jordan and go debate if he gets Washington title? What a question. That is it. That's the question of the day. Alex Loosemore with the question of the day. Does LeBron James pass Jordan in the GOAT debate if he goes to Washington and brings them a title? Personally, it is sacrilege for me to say anybody passes Jordan in the GOAT debate, period. Okay? With that being said, if LeBron James comes to Washington and wins us a title and does what Michael Jordan could not do and then rides out on his high horse after that and just leaves and whatever, I might have to rip my vote in two and drop it on both of them, because it's going to be hard for me to go against Jordan. It really is. But if LeBron does that, and that's it. It's not Jordan's always going to be up there for me. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think Kobe is the closest thing you're going to get to a Jordan, just because when I look at greatest, yes, stats are big, yes, rings are big, but when I think in greatest, I think if I need to win the game and I'm up, I'm down, it's 0-0, I'm down, whatever the scenario, I need one person to come in with me and will it to victory, I'm bringing Jordan. If I need another person, I'm bringing Kobe. Now, if I need somebody to help the rest of my team facilitate and do this and also be dominant, yeah, I'll bring LeBron. That's where I feel. You know what I mean? Like, if we're really having that debate, you know, LBJ, Alex said, LBJ is the best overall player ever. Jordan is the greatest. Yes. And that's the thing. If you need somebody that's going to dominate in rebounds, somebody that's going to shoot the three, somebody that's going to dunk in the paint and body somebody that's going to play defense, somebody that's going to facilitate, somebody that's going to do all these different things, yes. If you need somebody to will your team to victory, I'm going Mike. If you need somebody to do a little bit of everything, I'll give LeBron that credit. I'll give it to him. But at the same time, that if I'm telling Jordan he can't do something, I got to take Jordan, because if you tell him he can't do it, what did he say in his documentary? I took that personally. You know what I mean? So Jordan is going to figure out a way, and he's going to show up, man. It's hard for me to ever go against Michael Jordan. So I'll do you one better. If LeBron goes to the Buffalo Bills, there it is. There, I didn't think you could get better, but there it is. If LeBron brings the Buffalo Bills a title, there it is. Now I'll go one even better than both of you. If LeBron goes back to Cleveland and not only wins the title for the Cavaliers, but also wins the title for the Cleveland Browns, then he's the GOAT. That's what it is. There it is. That LeBron, you hearing it from me right now. You want to be the GOAT in my eyes? You go to Cleveland, and you already won a title with the Cavaliers. Now you take the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl, whichever way, shape, or form you can do that. That's when you'll put in my title. That's when you'll be in my GOAT, all-time GOAT. Because Jordan couldn't do that. Jordan couldn't take the Bears to the Super Bowl. And look, and all of y'all coming at me like he doesn't even play football. That's the point. All right, he's over, and it does that. And if anybody can do that, LeBron built for that. So I don't know. Look, Alex said if LeBron helps Pittsburgh Pirates win the World Series, then he's good. There we go. I'm telling you, LeBron could be one of those guys that goes and plays football. He has the build for that. He goes and plays baseball, whatever. If he could get them and win a title for them, let's have that conversation. Let's have that conversation. But as far as going back to basketball, if he comes to Washington and does it, yeah, that to me would be something to see. That would be something to see. I don't know if it could happen. I don't know if it will happen in Washington, but we will see. But look, let's get to a couple of these other moves that happens. Obviously, we talked about it. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he is in Miami. No longer with the Milwaukee Bucks. And updated news right now, speaking about the Wizards, Patrick Ewing joins Keefe's Wizards staff as an assistant. So longtime New York Knicks dominant Hall of Fame player is going to be joining Coach Keefe's staff for the Wizards as an assistant. That's a big move. I'm loving that. We already know Wizards got the number 1 pick in AJ Defensta out of BYU. Hey, we've seen Trae Young, gave him some more money. Who knows what happens with AD? Obviously, there's been rumors about, trading him, potentially getting him out. We'll see what happens there. A lot of big things happening. Another thing connected with the Wizards. I mean, shout out to them. The Lakers are trading DeAndre Ayton, that center, to the Wizards for guard Jaden Hardy and 2 second-round picks in 2031 and 2032. So that's now we got a big presence in the middle that potentially can stay healthy for us. That could be a big move for us. And I'm loving kind of what the Wizards are doing. They're definitely staying young, but they're also bringing in a couple pieces that can definitely be helpful going down the line. It's been hard for these last couple of years to watch the Wizards because they've clearly been tanking. They've clearly been playing very poorly. But now you bring in something like this. You bring in a guy, a big guy in Ayton that's had success, that's played well elsewhere. Obviously, the fans is over here. You got Trae Young, some young talent. They got a young roster coming together, really kind of playing together. This could be big. We've seen what happened with some of those guys. When you have a star, a young star, and you have a young crew around them with San Antonio, and they are players that once they come together and they start gelling and meshing together, they don't know what they don't know. You know what I mean? That, everybody, we're supposed to be bad, whatever. They keep playing together and you start hitting shots. You start making things happen. You start going on runs and all of a sudden things start turning around. So watch out. Now, obviously we know the East is definitely getting heavier, and depending on where LeBron lands, if he lands in the East, it's just going to get thicker in the East. But I don't think it's as far-fetched now to think that maybe Washington might be on the cusp of a turnaround. And with this move, I think it'll be huge. Let's go into a couple other moves. Obviously, this happened before the draft. The Timberwolves traded Julius Randle to the Brooklyn Nets for and Julius Randle in the 28th pick to the Brooklyn Nets for the 33rd pick. And the Nets sent Nick Claxton to the Bulls in that same trade. If we go a little bit further in there, Rockets trade Dorian Finney-Smith and 3 second-round picks for $13 million in the trade exception. And to keep going, I think the Grizzlies traded Sante Aldama for guard AJ Johnson in the 2030 protected first-round pick via Golden State, and then 2 future second-round picks. And another big trade that happened a little bit ago, Phoenix Suns trade Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal and a first-round pick in 2033 to the Charlotte Hornets for Miles Bridges, a first-round pick in 2029, and a second-round pick in 2027. So that is an interesting move by Phoenix and Charlotte. And lastly, but not least, and this one is close to my heart because of North Carolina, the Clippers trade the 57th pick, which ended up being Narcisse Nagoye, and cash considerations for center Henry Vassar. He was the center of North Carolina, I believe, a year ago, and one of our only him and Wilson, Caleb Wilson, were only 2 kind of picks that were dominant in last year's team. And we saw once Wilson went down, Vassar had to put it on his shoulders, and unfortunately, it wasn't able to happen. But Vassar now going to the Atlanta Hawks. Big ups to him. Obviously, he wanted to take his chance in the pros, and I'm happy for him that he was able to get this move done and now playing some pro ball. So shout out to him, man. That's a big move for him. Hopefully, the Hawks will be able to use him. We know the Hawks at one point were up 2-1 on the eventual NBA Finals and world champs, the New York Knicks, and it was at that point that the New York Knicks turned it around, and for I think the 13 games didn't lose another game. So that is a big move and potentially a big help for the Hawks going forward. And I'm interested to see kind of how that plays out because Vassar was a solid pick for us. We all know Washington had to change their name, but if they were so much better as Bullets. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Come on now. Wes Unseld, Michael Adams, Chris Webber. Holy George Mirasan. Chicks dig the bull. Hey, dig them. Listen, as somebody that grew up in that area, somebody that had Bullets merch, I get why they changed their name. Obviously, DC was awards. DC was rough at that time, everything like that. I'm not going to talk about why it was rough and what was funneled into the cities, but that's neither here nor there. But I get why they changed it. With that being said, golly, it's just kind of like the Commanders. Like, I get why they changed the Redskins to the football team and the Commanders, but give us something better than the Commanders and the Wizards, man. You know what I mean? Give us something that's just more DC or more, even our the the G League team is the Go-Go's. That's more DC. That's more of, kind of the vibe. You know what I mean? And I was a huge Bullets fan, man. Huge Bullets fan. And again, I'm still a huge Wizards fan, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same for, the name and everything. And I got I had a Wizards hoodie, and it's hard. It's hard to rep them. I definitely don't rep anything with the mascot on it. But I mean, you talked about it. I mean, you think about some of the names, and you can add in the Antoine Jameson. You can name Caron Butler in some of those years. I'm not talking about Mr. Bang Bang, Mr. Gilbert Arenas. I ain't jumping down that road. But I mean, even in some of those years where we started to be decent again, I mean, it was dope that we had some of those players, man. And the Bullets were legit. I mean, we had Juwan Howard on that and Weber. It was, oh man, I remember those days, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. I miss my Washington Bullets, man, for sure. But I get it why we changed. Yep. And yep, you're right. For a while, Gil Reedus made the Bullets get. I see my mind was going somewhere else, man. I was like, yeah, he did. He made us think about the glory days, but then you actually, yeah, that they had foresight of knowing if when Gilbert was on the team. That's why we had to switch it, because he was definitely trying to bring it back. He was definitely trying to bring it back. This was the comment I was trying to go to. Washington Hogs would have been a perfect name for the football team, and I agree. I mean, to be honest, if they really wanted to make a connection to the past and give you something that helped you forget about, the whole Redskins thing, bringing up the Hogs, which is exactly what Washington's O-line is known for, exactly the connection that we all could easily go to and say, yes, this is us. This is what we remember. This is what we love. That would be it. That is absolutely it. Why not bring it back? Washington Hogs. The Commanders just doesn't fit for me. I'm a diehard Washington fan, man. Y'all know it through and through. Love my Washington. Since as far back as I can remember. Okay, the Hogs are a part of the team. The daggone mascot is a daggone hog. What are we talking about, man? Like that should have done it better than the Commanders. And to be honest with you, I'd rather have the daggone football team over than the Commanders. I mean, shoot, we swept Dallas in their 1 year as a football team. So let's go. So, but no, man, I definitely think they botched that one by making us the Commanders, and there's other things surrounding that, the reason why they did that. But yeah, the Washington Hogs, I would have gone for that. I would have been all okay with that, no question. So I mean, hey, we'll see. We'll kind of see what else happens if they end up doing anything else with that name, and where we go from there. Let me do a quick update on the World Cup. If any of y'all know in the 7th minute, it looks like Mexico and England are tied at 0 right now. So we are still 0-0 in that game, and that is Mexico and England in Mexico City. So it's going to be quite interesting. Let me know what you guys think. Recapping some of those really quickly. Teams that have already made it to the round of 8. France beating Paraguay 1-0. Canada losing to Morocco 3-0. And Brazil getting upset by Norway 2-1. I believe Norway has been this far 2 other times. I think it was 1936 and 1998. But I don't think that they've ever moved farther than that. So to have this happen, on top of the fact that you also have to look at the fact that Brazil has made it past. This is the earliest they've been knocked out. You have to go back to 1990 to see how that they've been knocked out around this time or earlier. And that just lets you know. We all know Brazil's 5-time World Cup champs. We know how dominant they are. Shout out to my guy Alex Loosemore, who mentioned while we were talking about this earlier, Neymar has decided this is his last World Cup. He is retiring. After this game. It's sad to see. You hate to see, the emotion from the fans, but it's just like March Madness, man. It just gets me hungry for March Madness and the college football playoff, man. Let's just see what happens, how it gets later in this year, and how this whole thing plays out. But yeah, that's it on that one, man. So, hey, the World Cup is happening. Clearly, we got other games coming. Mexico and England in the 11th minute, tied 0-0. Let's see how that plays out. Tomorrow, Portugal and Spain play in Arlington, Texas at 3 p.m. Then USA playing Belgium and Seattle at 8 p.m. And then Tuesday, Argentina will play Egypt and Atlanta at noon. and Switzerland will play Colombia in Vancouver at 4 p.m. to see the final team to move on to the round of 8, the Elite 8, if you will, and the World Cup. So, yes, that is where we're at, man, ladies and gentlemen. And it is, hey, I'm excited to discuss it. I'm excited to talk about it. We'll definitely tune in and focus a little bit more on it in a later date. But listen, this has been Off the Wall Sports, man. It's your boy Sean Spencer, man. I'm so glad that you guys can join me. And you know, with me, man, I love chatting football, love chatting any sports, to be honest with you, and bringing this stuff to you. Now, I'm not done yet. I definitely got to shout out our College Western wear and did help me do a little commercial, a little thing for him, man. So I'm definitely good with that. And then I'm gonna hit you one last word, and I'm gonna get you out of here. All right, check this out. Howdy, y'all. Sean Spencer here. Today we're gonna take a look at a little piece of Southern country right here in Midwest home, downtown Chicago. Looking for boots? They've got them. Looking for chaps? Not a problem. Looking for hats? They've got that. Find your piece of country living. Yeah, buddy. Yes. Off the Wall Sports brought to you by Sean Spencer. We are part of the Off the Wall Media Network on Off the Wall TV. So, hey, we got one last word for you. One last word for you on this night, being it is the 5th of July. Want to shout out America. July 4th was yesterday. 250 years where America has been a country. We are the United States by name, albeit not always super united in this country. One thing I love about this country is always changing. It's always evolving. It is always kind of meshing with other cultures, is always trying to put their best foot forward. We might not always agree. And I think that's one of the best parts of America, is that we are greatest in our disagreements. We are greatest in the fact that, yes, there are certain times when things come about and things get done that are not right. And we've seen that we have constantly tried to rectify those issues. Sometimes bad things prevail. Sometimes, certain regimes or movements or managements come in and really try to dictate and hurt maybe a segment of the population or whatever. But that always begot part of the country to come up, band together, and really try to make things right. And I love that. And a lot of times you sit here and think, man, why does this stuff have to happen? Why do we have to go through this? Why can't we do this? Yada, yada. But shout out to my guy, Johnny Dean, who we talked about earlier. He said, with all this stuff going on, with how everything seems so negative at times, one of the best things about this country is actually what happens in its darkest moments. And those moments when things are really rough and things are really we're all kind of struggling and you have a lot of devastation, the earthquakes, the floods, the fires, the things like that. One of the greatest things you see is all the people that come together. It doesn't matter the color. It doesn't matter the nationality or the, the income or, the status or any of that. Brother is helping brother. Mother is helping daughter, father, son, everything. People are all coming out. Neighbor is helping neighbor, and they're really coming together. And I think that's the true spirit of America. I think the true spirit of this great country is what we do in the darkest hours, when things look the bleakest, when things look like they are absolutely at their very worst. That's when America comes together and really does what is right. And that, I think, is what sets us apart from a lot of other countries and a lot of other situations that might not be the best for people as a whole. I think some of the worst type situations that happen tend to bring a lot of Americans together. And you hate to see negative things, but if you don't see those bad things, if you don't go through those struggles, if you don't kind of see a lot of the rough stuff, then you won't have the opportunity to kind of watch people come up and come together and be gritty and really kind of push to make themselves a better nation. And I think if we're looking back at the 4th of July, if we're looking back at 250 years, I think that's one thing that's been consistent is America. America has consistently overcome the negativity. They've overcome the kind of evil and things that might be set to divide us. We've always kind of broken through and really tried to push forward for the unity and bringing everybody together as a people, not just white, not just black, not just Spanish, not just, Asian. Every culture is trying to come together and really make this place a better place. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I love doing this. That's why I love talking to sports. And that's why, in my opinion, sports have always been the greatest equalizer. They've always been the greatest equalizer. Because when I'm on that football field, and I know, Alex, you can attest to this, Ben, you too. When I'm on that football field, I don't care where you came from. I don't care what's your nationality or what's your income, anything. I need you to have my back, and I got your back. And that's what I love about it. And the World Cup is a prime example of that. You got guys from all different parts of the country coming together and fighting for the same goal. The same thing I love about football, baseball, basketball, all sports. You have all people coming together, and fans are the same way. You'll see fans of certain countries, and they're from all different parts of the world, but they're living in that country or they're supporting that country, and they all come together for a common goal, and they really come together to make things happen. And for me, that's the passion that I have for this game. That's what I absolutely love about it, man. And that's why I love talking about this sport and love talking any sport, to be honest, and talking about this game. And I think that's the embodiment of America that I want to take away, and America, not only America, but Canada too, because when I think of North America, I think of America, the Americas, Canada, America, combined, mesh, brought together, man, because that's what this thing is really about. So, hey, that's my 2 cents. That's my one last word for this last day. Want to take a minute to shout out my guys, Alex Loosemore in the building. Shout out to him, man. Coach Loosemore, as we need to call him. I can't wait to see him with the whistle in hand, man, ready to get these kids whipped into shape, man. He's about to win a championship this year. I want to see it. Coach of the year, my guy. I believe it. I can't wait to see it. And then definitely get at him and myself. We will be doing Let's Talk College Football and college football update sometime this fall. Definitely going to get into that. Bringing our guy EK Holiday and maybe a little Dub K in the action, Will Kramer doing that. Shout out to Ben Cornett, Las Vegas Zone, getting it done. Hey, he's got a number of shows. Definitely Face the Heels. I want to see him bring that back. 2-3 Ben Zone is dope. And then Benny, what's your other one? What is one I'm forgetting? Oh my goodness, the one you do all the time, the one I always flip and miss. Ben will hit me in the comments with that one, man. But definitely check him out, man. He does great stuff. I always love chatting with him and getting in. And I got to get these guys on here to help me with some baseball stuff because I need to touch on a little baseball stuff. I want to wait. Have at it. There it is. Yep. Have at it. Thank you, Alex. Definitely love have at it. Shout out to baseball scores. I'll put that out right now. Hey, speaking of the Pittsburgh Pirates, they are 46-45. They're one game above 500 as they beat Washington, who's also 46-45, 11-5 earlier today. And then my Orioles, who I was right, they're 42-49, lose to the Cincinnati Reds 3-2, and their Reds are 41-48. But hey, we're still around. We're still here. So we'll see what happens. But shout out to my guys in the comments and shout out to all of y'all that came and joined your boy on here, talking a little sports and getting down. I will clip this up and share this a little bit with you a little bit later, but stay tuned, man. We're going to be talking some sports in the coming days, weeks, months. Hey, this is what I love doing. So this is where we're going to be at. For your boy, Sean Spencer, Off the Wall Sports on Off the Wall Media, Off the Wall TV in the building. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on the flip side. I got to get something to eat, and then I got to do my training results, man, and look forward to Eastern Michigan. Ypsilanti, stand up! Let's go. We're out of here, people.
Gentlemen, it is your boy, Sean Spencer. We on air, people. We are live. And welcome to Live with Sean Spencer, your boy. Yo, so glad to be here with you guys.
That sun shining on you. Always put yourself in